this is a monument to the collision of two cultures.
Historian Hermann Trappman sees the Soto National Memorial as a monument to the shattering clash of cultures and worldviews unleashed when the empires of Europe began putting sailors and soldiers on North American soil. The De Soto expedition landed in modern-day Tampa Bay.
And it's an absolute collision. And I think what's so important about this place is that when you come here, you want to kind of take the time to evaluate your life and how your life fits in to a world vision, because it was a collision between world visions. The Native Americans saw a very, very different world. They saw themselves as a part of it. They were lovers of this planet and the world that they were living in. It was, I love this landscape, and so I have to be a part of this landscape. I have to be good to the landscape. I have to take care of it. That's a very powerful, powerful insight and a powerful way of trying to live with something. They looked at the world and the world they lived in for sustainability. That was the main thing, is that your great-great-great-grandchildren would have an opportunity to have as fabulous a life as you yourself had.
But that's when native lives collided with the violence that had gripped Europe for centuries. The ambition that had sent desperate people in search of fortune and fame to conquer this continent.
Now, the Europeans had gone through some horrific things. They'd gone through the Great Famine at the end of 1200 and the beginning of 1300. But what is hard to imagine is that when Rome collapsed, it didn't just create a vacuum. It created a situation where all these independent tribes would fight for superiority. Now, when we consider this place, we need to consider this one incredible man, the most powerful man on the planet in those days, Charles V, and that this man was at war with everybody. And that if you traveled to Europe in those days, what you'd experience is a lot of burnt-out villages, a lot of people living on the verge of absolute desperation. And this went on for 1,000 years before, and it was still part of the world that they lived in. And it was horrific battles that took place that changed that world. And it made, in that moment, it made the conquistadors who they were. And the other thing that happened that's so intensely exciting about this is, for the first time, a working class person, a person who was a cobbler's child or a butcher's child, could aspire to become a soldier. And that meant that you could become a mercenary soldier for pay, a soldier for pay. And in that second, you could change your life's opportunities. Now you could aspire to something different. These are the different cultures that are now going to come to this place, this point, and collide. And that, to me, is one of the most incredible stories you'll ever come in contact with.